And we're going. Okay, so thank you.
All right.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome everyone to the Golden Hour. So I wanted to start these calls as a way of providing something that was ongoing, and also something that we could dive into any topic that you desire to get more clarity and ease in with your life. So this first call is a free call that I'm doing, and then I'll be doing one call a month on a different topic indefinitely. So we'll go as long as people are asking for it. So what I wanted to just invite you to now is this is 1 hour. It's 1 hour for you, and it's going to be 1 hour for you every month if you choose it. So right now, would you all be willing to just, whatever it is that you're doing, just take the time to be present, to be here now, and to drop all the walls and barriers that you have, that you use to just to be even in the world, to protect yourself, or to have some sense of you as being separate from everything else. So if you find that that's a little bit tricky, just ask for the walls and the barriers to start to lower, and just let them melt away. And so what I'd like to ask you guys is, if there was anything that could be different after this call in your life, if there could be anything that could change in the world, if there could be anything that you could get clear on, have more ease with, have more joy with, what would it be? And you can ask, you can put it in the chat if you like, you can keep it to yourself if you like, or you can also come off mute and talk about what that is for you. Alina has said business. Goral has said to never have to fit in again. Thanks for sharing, guys. Okay. So, going to be using the clearing statement a lot in these, and Judy has said to have no barriers. So yeah, going to be using the Access Consciousness clearing statement with these calls. These calls will essentially be clearing nights, but like online. And Marie Lauren has said to see the gift my body is. Alicia said to have more communion with my body. All right, nice. So whatever that is for you, I'd like you to reach out into anything that you've created in the past, anything that is going on now, and anything that you plan to create in the future that doesn't allow for whatever you're asking for to show up. I want you to reach out into all of those different areas, and I want you to destroy and uncreate anything that doesn't allow you to have the ease, joy, and glory you're asking for, and everything that you've made solid that doesn't allow for the fluidity of this to show up. So Melissa's also said to wake up and go through my day with total joy and ease. Awesome. a lot of what you guys are talking about is matching the energy of what this first call is showing up as. So thank you for being here, and thank you for showing up and asking your questions, because you all contribute to what it is as well. And Maria Jose says economy. Cool. All right. So so what I also want to address is when you ask for something that is, let's call it like a big ask, something big that can change. What can show up is like a lot of the points of view about how that fits like contextually in this reality, and how you would have to create it, what you would have to do. What I want to ask you guys is, with everything that starts to come up around what we're playing with these calls, is I just want you to ask to melt everything that doesn't allow it to show up. So right now, any of the points of view going like through your head or in your world, or the wonderings about how that's going to show up, let's all now just ask for that to start to melt. And it's like any part that is solid, let's ask for it to be liquid and movement and possibility. And let's start to engage with all of the individual molecules that can be communicated with and engaged with in a different way. Anuta said, receiving in total with ease and joy. Awesome, thank you.
Can I say something, Zul, please?
Yeah.
The German link had no volume. The participant couldn't hear me.
Okay. Thanks for that. Yeah, thank you. All right. So what I want to address as well is, if you're asking for like total clarity, total ease, total joy, and total glory, and you're creating your life from problems, those two things like do not go very well hand in hand. So all the problems you've been using to create any of the solidity that you've been choosing, will you now destroy and uncreate and melt all of that? Everything that doesn't allow that, times a godzillion, right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So if by any chance you've come on this call and you've never heard of Access or the accessclearingstatement.com, the Access Clearing Statement, you can go to the accessclearingstatement.com and find out more about that. But really all you need to know is it's wacky, it's weird, it's wild, and it works. And we're going to be using it a lot on these calls. And if you would be willing, just allow it to contribute to changing the energy that you have around things, and to perceive it differently. And I'd like to ask you all as well, what do you know about ease? What do you know about joy? And what do you know about glory? And what can you create with that no one else has created before? And also, it's like we all know, and we all actually know what's true for us. A lot of the stuff that we will probably like be clearing in these calls is going to be the places where we've gone against our knowing, or we've started to try and create from someone else's point of view. And it's these places where we went against what was true for us and where we know what is possible. So all the lifetimes and all the choices and everywhere that you've gone against you with what you know, will you now reach through to everywhere that you can currently access and start to undo any of the fixed points of view that we've taken or aligned and agreed or resisted and reacted to, that allows anything that's currently showing up not to change. So everything that is and everything that doesn't allow that, times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Goral has also said, and I'm sorry if I get these names wrong, it's not my strong point, the willingness to be seen as totally wrong. So thanks for that. So okay, so how much of the wrongness are you guys using to keep you stuck in the polarity of never having to be wrong and always being right and never changing? Are you truly choosing? So everything that is, and if all the energy you're using to keep the wrongness and the rightness in place, we destroy and uncreate all of that. Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So it's okay. So there's more on that. So what? All right, let's have a bit of fun with this. What's the worst thing you could possibly ever do? I want you to get the sense of what, if you could, like, the most wrong thing, the worst thing, everyone would hate you, everyone would judge you. What is it? What is it for you? Get a sense of that. Get a sense of the energy, the amount of energy that you would have to be willing to receive to be made wrong by everyone you know, everyone you don't know, all the people you thought that, all the people that you've decided that like you, all the people you've decided that hate you. You're just wrong, bad, and terrible. I don't know why it makes me laugh so much. Probably shouldn't make me laugh that much. Maybe it makes some of you guys laugh too. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to start to melt all of the places where you're creating that with everyone. So all the points of view that you have in relation to anyone else that's creating you as wrong, we destroy and uncreate all of that and start to melt any of the connections you have created with people based on rightness or wrongness. So one of the things that has been coming up in Access a lot lately has been stratifications, and it speaks to the energy that we're like moving into now with the like going beyond rightness and wrongness and relating with people. So stratification is not something that has been like done to you. It's something that you choose to create with someone. So all of the stratifications that you've chose to create you being either right or wrong, that's eliminating the infinite choices that would be available to you if you were willing to go beyond your stratifications. Everything that is, times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, that's going a bit deeper than the other stuff. So what stratification of embodiment did you choose that allows polarity, insanity, and separation to exist? Everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So everything that doesn't allow you to go beyond your current stratification of like fun, enjoyment, ease, creativity, play, abundance, wealth, sexualness, and anything else that's made wrong in this reality, all the stratifications creating that and everything that you haven't been willing to go beyond, we now destroy and uncreate it and melt anything that doesn't allow you to choose what's true for you. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Does anyone have any questions about what we've been talking about or anything else that they would like to ask for?
Hi, so how are you?
Hi. Hi.
I'm a father. You were talking about the stratifications, and this is a hot topic in Access. And you were talking about the rightness and the wrongness of doing something and or not doing, or doing something to be right or to be or not to be made wrong. And how much of that is part of the stratification for us not to go beyond of where we are right now, each and every one of us. Can you talk a bit more about this? Sorry.
Yeah.
It's kind of a twisted question.
Yeah. So the main thing to get that I got recently about stratifications is stratifications are not something that have been like done to us. Stratifications are something that we choose to fit into our where we live, or our friendship circles, or our relationships, or our socioeconomic like circumstances. It's these places where we choose like the comfort of what we know rather than the possibility of what we don't know. So everything that you guys have created with stratifications, everything that you've chosen, and everything that you've been unwilling to perceive, know, be, and receive about what that is and what that's creating, we destroy and create all of that. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Going beyond some of your stratifications, it's a choice with all of it, and it might feel like pulling your butthole out through your mouth and then wrapping it around yourself again or something like that. I don't know, but it's like very uncomfortable. I'm enjoying watching the translators translate that. That's great. But you also might not have like a very strong sense of who you are, because going beyond the stratification is going beyond who you've decided you are. So who or what have you decided you are, and what choices have you made based on that keep you choosing the stratification of comfort and limitation rather than going beyond the stratification into infinite possibility. So everything that is and everything that doesn't allow you to choose something different, we destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Also, one thing I'd like to address is if you are looking to change things, you might be still looking to just change so you can have a different stratification. If you'd really like something different here, you want to ask for what can I be or do different to go beyond this stratification. For example, with money, someone was asking about, can we talk about the socio-economic stratifications? So what's a choice that you make every day that fits your socio-economic stratification? Everyone get a sense of that. If it's like the supermarket that you choose to go to, or the wine that you choose to drink, or a service that you choose, for example, when you fly, what do you choose? And this is one of these places where you're going to have to look at all of the things that you choose that you don't think create anything. It's like the choice in the supermarket. Do you go for what's on special, or do you choose for what you would actually like? Do you ask your body, are you being in question? So the stratifications are some of the places where we choose out of question, and we choose what's normal for that stratification to exist. So get a sense of what some of those choices are for you. And on 3, let's undo all of the unawareness, and let's destroy and uncreate anything that doesn't allow you to see the different choice that you have available, the different choices that you have available. So on 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And on 4, let's open the door to the choices to go beyond the stratifications you've been using to limit what you could be choosing. On 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So the thing with that is the 1, 2, 3 changes the past, and the 1, 2, 3, 4 opens the door to something different. But it's opening the door to having the choice to choose something different. So you guys are still going to have to be present, still going to have to be asking questions, and still going to have to choose something different if you'd like this to change. So everything that brought up, and everywhere you went, oh my God, that just sounds too hard. I could never do that. We destroy and uncreate all of that. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So actually that brings up something else, which is like the reasons and justifications. So how many reasons and justifications are you using to continually create the stratifications you are choosing? Everything that is times a godzillion, where you destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I can't choose that because I don't want to choose that because I would choose that, but blah, blah, blah won't let me. Or I would choose that, but that would make my family too uncomfortable. I would choose that, but I don't have enough money. Everything, all of that is, and all of the reasons and justifications you're using to create the stratifications you're choosing? Will you destroy and uncreate all of them? Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Alicia saying stratifications to create my body as it is now. So, how many stratifications are you using to create a body that fits with everyone around you, with this reality, and with a lack of enthusiasm, vitality, and creativity that you could be choosing? Everything that doesn't allow that, times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So, with your body's are clever. I don't know if any of you guys have ever done any body classes or anything like that, but you can go to a body class and you can have body processes run, and your body will dynamically be different afterwards, and you will start to realize all of these places where like everything is different. So your body is often willing to do things like differently more than you, the being, are. The beings are the ones that are like think that they're in control and like to choose limitation again and again and again, and keep all of these like stratifications and reasons and justifications in place. So everything that doesn't allow you all to acknowledge your body's awareness and your body's ability to go beyond some of the things that you haven't been willing to go beyond, and everything that doesn't allow your body to be a leader in your life, will you destroy and uncreate all of that? Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. The bodies are happy about that one. They're like, yay, we're getting acknowledged. These silly beings, they're so controlling. So, what energy, space, and consciousness can your body be to show you the choices, to lead you, and to follow you beyond the stratifications of embodiment you've chosen? Will you destroy and uncreate everything? Oh, so that's the energy, space, consciousness clearing. So everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Apparently that one worked on me. I went spacey too. So guys, what else would you like to ask for from these calls? You can come off mute. You can ask a question in the chat. We can go anywhere. Where would you like to go?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know a lot of tools from Access Consciousness, and I perceive that sometimes I use them not energetically, but with my mind. I can ask a question, but not be present with the question. I can say interesting point of view, but I'm not changing the energy I have. What can I do or choose to be very present and to choose to change things as soon as they appear, when the energy is heavy, and not to stay in surface,
Yeah. So were you on the start of this call?
Yeah.
Hört
Yeah.
auf.
All right. So, okay. So what I'd like to ask you is not for what you'd like to change, but I'd like to ask you, what would you like to be different? What's one thing that you would like to be different? Can you, if you can, like, be vulnerable with me and just give me an example of one thing that you'd like to be different?
Oof. To be different with creating money, for example.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'm going to ask you, and it's like everyone else can like tap into this with something else that is for them, if they have, if this energy applies, or if there's an energy that applies in your world that you would like to be different, you can also go through this. So right now, get a sense of the energy of that, of what you're asking for, what you'd like to be different, and stay here with me and stay here with the energy.
Aber lass mich in Ruhe.
And
Na, sieht das
if
so
you're,
aus? Ist der so
if
Pipi
can you,
Pfütze
if you're,
reingieße?
okay, if you're, can you mute yourself, please? If you're not the one talking, can you please mute yourself? Thank you. Sorry about that. That's so funny. That always comes up when it's like, get present with this energy, and then something like that happens. Not that you had anything to do with creating that. All right. So,
I was getting very uncomfortable.
yeah. All right, cool. So great. So great to acknowledge it, and let's have fun with it. It doesn't have to be serious. We can just have fun. But let's see what can actually be different here. So will you get present with you, get present with me, and get present with that energy again? Cool. All right. So what's the sense for you with it? Is there a sense is there a sense of movement? Is there a sense of solidity? Is there a sense of something you haven't been willing to go beyond? How can you describe that energy to me?
It's very solid in my belly and my throat, and I can feel some tears coming up.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So with the solidity, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you and everyone else, if, like, for anything that they're asking for, any of the solidity around that, so anything that you're asking for to be different, that you're creating as solid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to ask to like turn it, and it doesn't just start to get it moving, that energy starting to turn it, and more and more and more and more, and start to allow the molecules to have space in between them, and start to allow them to move in whatever way they can. And I'm going to ask you to expand out. I'm going to ask you to stay present with that energy, but start to like give it more space. So give you and that energy more space. So start to expand out, but stay present with the energy.
Yes,
right.
Because I use the expand out to check out.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So these are some of the places where you can start to see like where what you're using and what that's creating, how you can be different with it. So now do you have a sense of how you can be an expanded space and present with something?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So everything that doesn't allow that for all of you guys, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Also, I would just like to say that this might not be the way that it shows up for you to have something different. This is just an exercise we're doing with this energy. So it's like whatever's showing up for you, it doesn't have to look like this, it doesn't have to be like this, but if any part of this applies, please use it. So, okay. So tell me a bit more about the sense you have of this energy now.
It's a kind of, I can't breathe very deeply. I can't.
You can't breathe very
It's like,
differently. Okay. So what is that?
I hold my breath.
You hold your breath. All right, cool. Okay, so all of the resistance and reaction or alignment and agreement to never being willing to receive beyond this, we destroy and uncreate all of that. Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Oh, yeah, that's got some charge, and there was something with the throat about that. Okay, cool. So anything that you chose in any lifetime that doesn't allow you to be able to speak to these energies and to be able to speak to what will set you free, we destroy and uncreate anything that you created in any of those lifetimes that allows that to exist.
Yes.
Yes? Truth?
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's changing something. All right. So tell me your sense of that energy now. Oh, and are you looking? Yeah.
I'm looking up. Okay.
No. I was going to say, are you looking for something that's not there? Because it might have already changed. It might already be different. So don't go back to what it was before to try and define it. What's your sense of it now?
It's a kind of it on my head, like a sailing or something on my head.
Okay, cool. So all right. So like we did before, I want you to stay present and expand back out. Present with the energy and expand back out. Okay, you're going to need to go further. Okay, so one other thing I'm going to ask you we were talking about the solidity, and then that we were looking for there being space between the molecules. What I'm going to ask you to do is, as you expand out, I'm going to ask you to create and like instill a sense of space between the molecules as well. So as you're expanding out, I want you to also expand the space between the molecules, still staying present with that energy. Can you do that?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so more and more and more and more. All right, cool. Okay, so I'm not sure about you, but for me, the sense of that is way different. So, okay. All right, cool. So everything that doesn't allow you to acknowledge the different choices that you just made, and that you have those choices available to you always, we destroy and uncreate all of that.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, cool. And so that's just like an example of an exercise that you can do with you if you notice. And thank you so much for bringing this up, because this is one of those things where it's like we have so many tools with Access, and there are so many things that we could be doing, or we could be looking at that we're not. But it's like when we're actually willing to get present and really like dive deep with some of this stuff, it can change a lot by something being different. If we're looking to just change something, that's often when we'll go, oh, you know, I have a money problem, interesting point of view. But is anything actually showing up different?
Yes.
So thank you so much for...
Thank you for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. And someone else just asked something in the chat too. There was a few things. Alina saying, can you talk about being present with different creations when you are part of many creations? Yes, I can. So, all right. So, what is there any more information? Yeah, maybe you've got, because I can talk to what that is for me, but Alina, what is it for you? I perceive I don't get everywhere. Okay. So, all right. So, Alina, everywhere that you've been trying to like separate yourself into different parts and pieces in order to be everywhere with all of your creations, we destroy and uncreate all of that. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And I'm sure this doesn't apply to anyone else either. So, okay. So what I want to look at with this is if you've got a bunch of things going on and it's like you've got lots of different projects, or you might have like, you know, a job that has a lot of different aspects to it. What you want to do is you want to start to ask for what will create the most now to start to talk to you. And that can be like a moment to moment thing. So say, for example, you have 5 projects going on. When you wake up in the morning, you want to ask and you want to get present with the energy of what will create the most today, and go from, allow it to be like not linear, not like this project is due, you know, the deadline for it is in 3 days, so I've got to do it today. But what if it was, where's the energy actually at for creation? What can I create today with these projects, and which one of these projects is like ready to move? Which one of these projects requires like institution? Which one of these projects requires creation? Who can I talk to about this? And these are very just like simple pragmatics, but it's like, Alina, if there's something else that you require or you're like that you'd like to ask for with this, please either come off. I know that you're translating, so you might not be able to come off mute, but put something else in the chat, because it's like there's a little bit of stuff there, but it's also not going that deep, and I'm not sure that I can go like that much deeper with it unless I have some more information from you. Judy said, thank you for that facilitation using space of being and space between the molecules. My pleasure, Judy. Thank you. So where else can we go, and what else can we look at? What else would you guys like to look at today? So Alina says, don't know if I require to be more, which I'm not sure if that's what she actually means, but if she does, that's interesting. Okay, so, all right, so what have you guys, okay, so what have you never been willing to be that you could now be to go beyond the stratifications, the joy, the enthusiasm, and the creation of living is now possible that you haven't yet acknowledged. Everything that is and everything it doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive that, we destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Wow, okay, so my sense of right now is that there's quite a lot of space, and you guys might be like finding it a little bit tricky to like come up with a question or something. But so where else can we go from here? I'm also wondering and asking about. What were some of the things that people were asking for? She feels disconnected from her body. Okay, so someone's asking about, how can she turn it on? Turn it on, honey. Turn it on, turn it up. It's a choice. Turning it on is as simple as turning it on. All right, so right now, all of you guys, connect with your body to the greatest ability that you're willing to have right now. Turn it up and turn it on. And more, and more, and more, and more. Add in some of that sexualness, some of that joy, some of that orgasmic energy. Yeah, more. Would you guys be willing to go beyond whatever you've been willing to receive with this and your bodies before? Truth? All right, so get the energy of a volcano, get the energy of the lava under the ground, get the energy of all of the molecules that are currently willing to contribute to you. Get the energy of the earth, the universe. Get the energy of you being willing to have your back and supporting you. And turn it up more and more and more. And anything that comes up for any of you while doing this, that is like, if you notice any solidifications or anything with your body, I want you to start to ask to melt that stuff. So as we're turning it up, let that energy melt the doubt, melt the solidification, melt the stratifications you haven't been willing to go beyond. The energy of you having infinite choice, unlimited creation, pure joy. I love it. Someone left the meeting. That's enough. That's enough. More. Let's ask for more. Now they've gone, we can ask for more. Turn it up. Okay, cool. All right. So did anyone notice that they sort of like got somewhere that they couldn't go beyond? Was there anything that came up for anyone, or was there any of you that felt like you could just keep expanding and just keep going? So giggly from Alicia, awesome. And it's okay, it doesn't matter either way. It's just if there's anything that isn't allowing any of you to have more of that energy, I'd like to look at what we could be different. My mother came up and then it stops. Okay, cool. Okay, so interesting. So the family class is on at the moment, and so there's a lot of information coming out from that. It's very brand new, and so I'm not sure if it's quite for this yet, but we will have a clearing. We will do one of these golden hours, and we'll talk a little bit more about family. But what I would like to ask you, Goral, is would you be willing to include your mother in those energies? So would you be willing to have your mother be included in the energy that you have of sexualness and joy and creation and living and expansion? And so everything that doesn't allow you to include her, and any of the separation that's been created from excluding her or from anyone in any of your lives, will you revoke, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate any of the oaths, vows, swearings, fealties, communities, or commitments that is holding any of that in place? Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Cool. So there is still a sense of containment. How can we be that all day long? You could never be that all day long, Melissa, not you. Everyone else can, but not you. Okay, so the person that says I still experience containment, I need some more information. What is it? Tell me more about it. Give me a sense of the energy of what that is for you. And you can come off mute. Judy says, wow, that's a big ask. Guess I'm still choosing separation. I'm going to get back to you, Judy. Don't go off the call. Yes.
Hi, Sul. It's
Hi.
Cara. It's Cara. I asked about the containment.
Hey, Cara.
It's a sense of, I just lost the words then. Holding back, I suppose. Holding it in. Maybe I'm trying to get it right, but I can feel a sense within my body. Is it contained within my body, or does it go beyond my body? I might be trying to make.
Well, okay, yeah. So, all right. So, okay. So, what do you know about this that you haven't been willing to acknowledge? And what do you know about this that you can now perceive, know, be, and receive?
Okay.
So everything that doesn't allow that times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it all.
Mm-hmm.
Truth?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, and so everywhere that you're trying to go to, figuring this out,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
create it, we destroy and uncreate all of that.
Yeah. That's
Right,
what's
wrong.
in the way. That's what's in
Yeah.
the way of allowing it to be. Yeah.
So we destroy and uncreate it.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And so what energy, space, consciousness, and choice can you be to be present with what's true for you with total ease?
Yes.
So everything that doesn't allow that times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Cool. So there's a different space. So play with that energy again. Listen to this call again and do that exercise with us again and see how that shows up. And let me know as well if there's anything else. Thank you. And Judy, I'm coming back to you.
Mhm.
So Judy, that's a big ask. Guess I'm still choosing separation. So, truth, Judy, are you still choosing separation? There's a bunch of
Yeah,
us
can you
on
hear me?
here. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Because I'm driving, so it might not be the best. Yeah, look, I don't know. I think I'm choosing resistance, and it boils down to the same thing, does it not? Resistance to my mother.
Resistance to your mother. Okay, so,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, so what?
And I
To
feel
go
like
there.
somebody's choking me.
Someone's choking you. Would that by
I
any,
feel like
would
yeah.
is it you by any chance?
Yeah, totally.
So everything that is so okay. So all the energy you're using not to have the clarity with this that you could be choosing, where you destroy and uncreate all of that.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, so what? Okay, cool. So what does it give you to resist your mother that you haven't been willing to acknowledge? What do you love about what you get from resisting your mother?
Probably because then I get to be like her and not be all of
No.
really weird.
No. Sorry, Judy, no. Come on.
Okay.
What do you
What do I
get?
get?
What do you get? What do you get from it? What do you love about it? What does it
I
give you?
get to be right. Totally.
A little bit, but there's something else there. So, okay. So, you know what we did with the lady before about getting a sense of that energy and getting present with it?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to go there with me
for sure.
with that now? Okay, cool. So,
Yeah.
okay. So being present with you, being present with me, and get present with that energy. So what is it?
Yeah. It's just like all the blood is in my head, and if my head's gonna pop off, it seems like.
Okay, cool. All right. So all of the
It's like I'm constricting myself.
yeah. So everywhere that you've been gaslighted or all the gaslighting like connected to this that's not allowing us to see what's underneath it, and everywhere that you chose that or aligned and agreed or resisted and reacted to anything that allowed that to exist, where you destroy and create all of that.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Whoa. Okay. Whew. So okay, so so let's start to turn this again, or like so space in between the molecules. So can you now start to so space in between the molecules, like more and staying present, staying present with you and your body, especially with this while you're doing this, and with me, and a little bit more and a little bit more. Okay, cool. Ooh. Huh. Okay, cool. So are you able to like include your mother in what you're willing to receive from this space? Still not really?
Yeah.
Not really. Okay, cool.
More so.
Okay. Huh. So what would you have to be willing to let go of control of in order to receive everything that she desires to contribute to you, and the acknowledgement of everything that you have and desire to contribute to her? So everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive that, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yep.
Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Cool. Wow, this is okay. So what else is required here? What else do you know about this?
I just get that it's like kind of going down my spine now, and
Yeah.
you know, and so maybe
Okay, so
maybe I
all
just
the
yeah.
yeah, so all of the physical solidifications, like locked in any of your bodies, your body, your mum's body, or anyone on this call that that can now be like unlocked and melted. On four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
How about
Is
a 20?
this? We can go for it. I love it.
Maybe a 19. Maybe a 19 because you know what? I have to choose this. Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
All right, cool. So, well, if you guys are on here, it's an intro call, but it's kind of not an intro call, and you can find out what a 19 or 20 is later. If you're really curious, you'll find out. So let's go for it. All right. 19, 19, 19, 19, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 19, 19, 19, 19, 20.
Yeah, I have
Okay,
one
cool.
change. That's awesome.
Yeah, that changed the energy for me too. Thanks, Judy. You're awesome.
Thank you.
She's such a bad girl. She always asks for more. Not that any of you ask for more, or would you like to ask for more? So we're at an hour, and it's been an awesome hour for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I just there's something else there. Just quickly asking for more. So, all right. So let's just do a little one last little exercise, just very quickly. So, okay. So we've asked for something different with this call, and it's like what you might have noticed is that things are starting to like move and be different. But what I'd like to invite you to is to get present with like actually asking for what it is you would like with your life, how you would like your life to be. And like as Judy said, being, and as like she displayed, being willing to ask for more, being willing to not not stop in order to like fit in, but actually be present with you and what you desire to be in the world, the energy that you desire to be in the world, the space that you desire to be in the world, the consciousness that you desire to be, and the choice that you desire to be. And what I'd like to invite you to is to go and be that in the world as dynamically and with as much joy and possibility and fun and ease and space as you know is possible. And then use some of the exercises that we've done in this call when you come across like anything that doesn't allow that, and anything where you get that it's like a sticking point for you. But also be willing to not have those places show up. Be willing for that to be different after this call, and also after what you can now acknowledge about you and your capacities to create something different in the world with your energetic capacities. So thank you all so much for being present, being part of the first call for the Golden Hour. It's been an amazing call for me, and yeah, I'm very grateful for you all, and yeah, I hope you got something out of it. And we're also going to be doing these calls for 1 hour once a month, indefinitely. So if you'd like to come on any of the other calls, we will have some information out to you about it. And there's going to be a different topic every month, and you guys get to contribute to what that topic will be. So based on the questions that you ask or what you're asking for, we will look at which topic we will use for each month. And on each call, you can ask about anything. So yeah, what's possible now? Wherever you are, hope you have a lovely day or a lovely evening or a lovely afternoon, whatever it is. But have way too much fun being you. Thanks, everyone. All right.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you so much.